Hello, everyone. How y'all doing? This is Illa Lynn, and thanks for stopping by my channel, Everything Spiritual. Disclaimer: all readings are for entertainment purposes only, so enjoy. Hi there, this is Illa Lynn, and thanks for stopping by my channel, Everything Spiritual. Today I'm going to do a reading on the outbreak of sexually transmitted diseases. I was so surprised to hear through social media that the STDs have been on an uprise. In the past 12 months, there have been an increase in sexually transmitted diseases that are at an all-time high since 1991. And it's also, not only has the cases risen to an all-time high since 1991, it's also the most amount of cases reported since 1948. So I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, what is really going on here? And HIV is at a 16% increase since last year. And the STDs that were mentioned were syphilis and gonorrhea. And then, of course, the monkeypox, as well as positive HIV cases. So I wanted to find out from Spirit what's going on. Why is there all of a sudden an influx in sexually transmitted diseases? Why has there been a spike in sexually transmitted diseases since 1948? And what's really scary is there was an increase in syphilis, a 16% increase in syphilis from last year to this year. And last year we had 2,700 births, 2,700 children born with syphilis, which either resulted in death or medical problems. And you also had 211 stillbirths as a result of having unprotected sex. So I'm going to play a short video clip, and then we're going to get into this reading.
What is the cause of this?
There's been a sharp rise in cases of some sexually transmitted diseases, including a 26% rise in new syphilis infections. And it's prompting health officials to call for new prevention and treatment efforts.
Dr. Ray, I don't know if you know. What would be the reason?
Well, one thing, Michael, is it was a long, cold, hard pandemic. And now people are back. It was lonely, man. And so that's one thing. But when it comes to things like syphilis, it was going up since 1998. And that is thought to be due to decreased spending on prevention, education, all of those things. So it's not rocket science. Basically, limit your partners, use condoms, and certainly get tested frequently. And they're coming out with more and more home tests, and we need more funding. So bottom line, be careful out there.
Yeah.
All right, under the situation, we have the Ten of Wands. Under the expectation, the Hangman. Under the hidden influences, the Five of Cups in reverse. Under the advice, we have the Emperor. And under the outcome, we have the Princess of Wands. So the situation here, the Ten of Wands, you see it's surrounded by, the matchsticks are surrounded by flames. So this area is burning. And this indicates that people are becoming infected. Their lives are being affected. Their health is being affected. Their quality of life is being affected. Basically, this is saying that people are being taken down due to having unprotected sex. And in this era, it appears to be, chic to be a freak. It's almost as if young people through the media are encouraged to be sexually promiscuous. They're encouraged to walk around half naked. They're encouraged to explore their sexuality. Society on a whole, through movies, entertainment videos, and the social norms, are encouraging promiscuity. They're encouraging irresponsible sex. The clarifier for that card is the Five of Air. The clarifier is the Five of Air, or Five of Swords, and it's conflict and defeat. This disease is affecting men and women, but unfortunately it's affecting more men than women. You have more black and brown men being infected, and a lot of it's through unprotected sex. A lot of black and brown men are contracting the monkeypox on top of syphilis and gonorrhea, and then you still have HIV. So the man is being defeated at this time, and it makes you wonder, is this some form of genocide? Are the powers that be encouraging promiscuity? Are they encouraging casual sex? Are they encouraging young boys to be promiscuous? And one day you want to have sexual relations with a boy, then the next day you want to have sexual relations with a girl. All of these things are risk factors. They're factors that put you at risk. Under the expectation, we have the Hangman. And Spirit is asking you, young people, to pause and reflect on what you're doing. You're being asked to take a moment and reflect on why. Why are you being so promiscuous? Why? It's almost as if it's with becoming out or being a part of the LGBTQ community. It's almost as if that can be an excuse or a reason to have promiscuous behavior. Now, I'm not knocking the community. Some people truly are in a position where they were born in the wrong body. But you have other people who are taking advantage of the climate now, and they're using it to have reckless sex, whether they're identify as being straight or gay or bi. They're having sex with multiple partners of both men and women. The clarifier for the Hangman is patience. And this card is in the reverse. And when it's upright, you have someone who has planted a seed, planted a thought, an idea, an action, and they've watched it grow. And of course, it takes patience for that to happen, but this is in the reverse. It appears as if there are blockages. The young people don't want to be patient. They don't want to wait. They don't want to take their time and get to know a single person or even just commit. It's more than just committing in regards to settling down and committing yourself to a person or a relationship. You need to look at it as committing yourself to honoring and respecting your body. So with the hangman being in an expectation position, a lot of you young people, or people in general, you're on the path of enlightenment, but you have blockages. So your message, your seed, your idea, your thought is not able to grow because it's being blown away. You have to do some soul searching and ask yourself, why am I doing this? How much of this is actual lust? And how much of this is actually how I'm configured to be with regards to having sex? And just because you are a LBTGQ person, it doesn't mean that automatically equals promiscuity, reckless sex, free sex, just irresponsible sexual behaviors. It doesn't automatically mean that. I feel there are some people who are exploiting the community on a whole just to get their freak on, meaning they're not really a bisexual or gay or lesbian or bi or queer. They just like having kinky sex, and they're taking advantage of the movement so that they can satisfy their own personal sexual pleasures. Irresponsibly, by the way. So some of you all, you're on your way to enlightenment, but then you have others. Here we have the hidden influence, and under the hidden influences we have the Five of Cups. And when this is in the upright position, you can look at this woman. She's sad. She feels sadness and sorrow over these spilt cups. And each cup can be a situation or an event in her life that didn't go as she planned. So she's in a position to feel sorrow. She feels remorse because of what has happened. But this card is in the reverse. So the majority of the people, they don't feel remorse. They have a blockage to feeling remorse. They have a blockage to feeling remorse and letting go of the pain. The only way you can heal is if you're able to release that what hurts. And by this cup being in the reverse is showing that some folks are not able to heal because they're not able to have remorse. They have not expressed remorse. They don't feel sorry for their actions. They're living in the moment. And until you can have remorse or feel sorry or bad or regrets for what you've done, you're not going to be able to turn it around, because you have to accept it in order to heal, which releases it and lets it go. The clarifier for the Five of Cups is triumph and success. And this is the Ace of Air. And this is about sharp thinking, cutting through the truth, cutting through the nonsense, and being successful. So what's good about this is, although some of you folks, you have blockages to feeling remorse, and it could be due to your pride or your ego or not wanting to feel singled out or not wanting to be bashed or have accusations made toward you. So some of you all have blockages towards that. But with the Ace of Sword as your clarifier, this is a temporary situation. And the Five of Cups can also indicate a temporary sorrow to a situation. So it's going to catch. And it's not so much about having who your partners are. It's being irresponsible with the partners. It's not having protected sex. It's not having safe sex. It's not getting to know the person to know their health history. It's almost an overall just irresponsibility when it comes to intimacy and having sex. Or it may not be intimacy, it may be more sex than intimacy. Under the advice, we have the Emperor. And the Emperor is a major arcana card, so this is a significant message. The advice from Spirit is just to be more responsible, be more accountable. Wrap it up, men and women. One night of pleasure should not cost you your entire life. It shouldn't cost you your health. And if you're able to take your time and get to know someone before you have casual sex with them, you're able to ask the questions. And the questions need to be asked before large amounts of alcohol are consumed. You need to find out, hey, when was the last time you were tested? Have you tested positive? Do you have any sexually transmitted diseases? You just have to put it out there. The clarifier for the Emperor is suffering in silence. And this is saying that a lot of people are suffering in silence. This is the Nine of Air, because you're not asking the right questions. You're taking someone for face value. You're taking their word for face value. You don't really know the person. When you meet someone at a club or out and about and you're having sexual relations with that person within a week of meeting them, you don't know the person. So you go ahead and you go with the flow and you have a sexual intercourse, and then the next thing you know, you have a trip to the doctor. You've got some pus and oozing going on. You have some abdominal pain. And then you find yourself suffering in silence because you're not quite sure what it is. You're embarrassed to go to the doctor or to your family doctor or to the community doctor. So you try to hope and wish it away. But you must be more responsible and accountable when it comes to having sexual relations. Under the outcome, you have the Prince of Wands, the Princess of Wands. And look at her eyes. This is a very determined woman. And she has the eyes of determination. And she looks as if she's ready to give more thought to her sexual partners before she has casual sex. This is a card of a new beginning. The wands are the suite of action. She's taken a new action. And this happens to be the princess, which is a younger energy. And unfortunately, this epidemic of the increase in sexually transmitted diseases is mostly among our younger people. But this is saying that you're going to go through a period of self-discovery when it comes to having sexually transmitted diseases. You're going to begin to love yourself. The first relationship that we all should have, the first love affair, should be with ourselves. So having love for yourself, having respect for your body will cause you to make different decisions, to make different choices. It'll cause you to go through a period of self-discovery when it comes to sexuality and promiscuity. And like anything else, anything in excess can be a problem. You need to have balance in all areas of your life. The additional clarifiers we have is for the situation, bathe in divinity. His coming is as brilliant as the sunrise. Bathe in divinity. Divinity could be your spirituality. It could be your morals, your morality, your values, your conscience, your sense of right and wrong. You're being asked to bathe in that so that you make decisions that are in your best interest. The clarifier for the hidden influences is the gift of love and light. No one lights a lamp and then covers it with a bowl or hides it under a bed. A lamp is placed on a stand where its light can be seen by all who enter the house. Again, this is a card that really supports the triumph and success. So with a little bit of faith and prayer and asking for assistance from your spiritual family, your guides, your ancestors, you will gain the energy you will gain discernment. You will gain the presence of mind that will allow you to make better decisions when it comes to your sexuality, when it comes to having casual sex with someone that you really don't know. The final clarifier for the outcome is focus on God's love. Make every effort to keep yourselves united in the Spirit, binding yourself together with peace. Again, having that love, that self-respect, having that sense of pride, and knowing that you as an individual are valued and valuable, and you're worth more than just being a sperm dump, or you're worth more than being a sperm deposit. When two people come together, that is the closest that two people can be. You exchange energies, you exchange fluids. You need to be careful who you're exchanging your energies and fluids with, because that person, whatever they leave you with, you're stuck with it unless you have a cleansing, or over time it fades. So I have a few questions that I want to ask Spirit regarding this epidemic in the United States of sexually transmitted diseases. Supposedly there's a strand for gonorrhea that's not curable. All right, I've already prepared my cards before I began the reading. So I'm just going to ask each question 3 cosmic tarots. By the way, the decks I'm using, the Cosmic Tarot, the Psychic Tarot, and the Love and Light Oracle deck. So I'm going to do 3 cosmics for the answer the question, and 3 psychic tarots for the clarification. All right, the first question is, has social media, or different sections of the government, the powers that be, are they promoting promiscuity as a form of genocide? Are they promoting casual sex in the movies and the videos, knowing that it will lead to sterilization, babies that are born deaf, babies that are born blind, are contracting gonorrhea. There's a strand of gonorrhea that doesn't have a cure. So let's see if this is some kind of conspiracy for young people to be in a position where years from now, it'll affect the black race. There'll be less black children born as a result of what's going on now with this epidemic rise in sexually transmitted diseases. So the first question is this some kind of plot or plan that the government has come up with to reduce the numbers of black and brown people, promoting over-sexualized casual sex in the media and in the movies and videos and whatnot? We have the King of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the King of Cups. It looks like the answer is yes. You have the King of Pentacles, and he's making decisions. He's deciding what choices. He's making the call as to what should be. He's deciding what movements, what decisions, what actions to take regarding the population of brown people and reducing the population of brown people. You have the Ten of Swords and the clarifier, and this is a symbolism of all of the poor health, terminal sexually transmitted diseases, and ultimate death that is a result of having casual sex. You have the Ten of Swords. Each one of those swords could be an episode of having unprotected sex. And as you can see, it's destroying this person. And then the clarifier is prosperity begins. So if the act is destroying mankind, and this represents mankind, why would it be prosperity begins if it wasn't a plan all along to promote the promiscuity and casual sex so that the race of people can not procreate anymore? If you have more male on male sexual relations, woman on woman sexual relations, there's not a whole lot of procreating going on. And then the final card for that answer is the King of Cups. And then the clarifier for that is solitude. So someone has sat and thought about this. They've given it a lot of thought. How we're promoting reckless sex, sex without values, sex without morals, just basically having your itch scratched. How is that going to affect the overall nation's population of black and brown people? So they've given it some thought. And these kings represent different members of the government or different members in society that are in a position to make that call. The second question is the pride, the rainbow, LBGQ, is that, are people pretending to be gay? Are people pretending to be a lesbian, bisexual, queer, transsexual just to get their rocks off? Now, I know that is not the case with everyone, but do we have people that are pretending to be gay so that they can have reckless sex, casual sex, unprotected sex? Yes. Yes, they are. You see the World card? This is a card of success. This is a card of completion. And then you have the stand your ground. So you have some folks that are taking advantage of this, even if it's under the umbrella of I'm curious, I want to try it out just to make sure. But you have a lot of people now, it's almost like they're taking someone's lifestyle, they're taking a condition and they're making it into a fad. And then the Six of Wands, that's success. Yes, they are. The Six of Wands indicates success. But then the Truth card is in reverse, so they're not being truthful. They're not being honest. Men and women are pretending to be part of this community just to get the freak on, to get a little kink in their sex life. And then you have Temperance, which of course is bringing balance, having balance. And that is clarified by the this would be the Five of Pentacles, or the Five of Earth. Although there is, sexual promiscuity going on, although men and women are chopping it up, men and men are chopping it up, women and women are chopping it up, they're not doing it for the right reasons. It's an emotional loss. They're just experimenting. They're not actually, the majority of these people are not actually gay, lesbian, bisexual. They're just in a position where they're curious and they're trying to, it's almost as if the society with the pride community has given the green light to explore your sexuality, or to let your freak flag flow or fly. But it's more to the pride community than just sexual relations. The next question is, does Spirit feel that young people are devaluing and disrespecting their bodies by having casual, unprotected, irresponsible sex? So the question is, do young people care about devaluing their body? Do young people care about their body being a temple and then possibly dishonoring or disrespecting their body? And you know what? They don't care. The young people are not that deep, not all, but they don't know. They're not thinking that deeply about it. It's more of, I have an itch and I want to get it scratched. I like you look good. Let's boink. So, yeah, unfortunately, the young people don't care. They've thought about it. This is showing solitude, thinking, connecting with source, or just being a plate of silence so you can hear Spirit's guidance. This is more contemplation. And then you have the Three of Swords. They know that it's not going to lead to anything positive. But they're more into sexual gratification. And the thing about it is, the problem with this is a lot of young people confuse sexual intimacy with someone loving you or caring for you, and that's not the case. That's why you have Memories of Love is in the reverse. But at the same time, because it's popular, because everyone is doing it, it's like you don't want to feel left out. You want to try it too. You want to get your wishes fulfilled as well. But at the end of the day, you come up with the Three of Swords. And you're going to successfully be heartbroken because the person that you're laying with is not laying with you because they like you, because they want to be with you, they want to support you, they want to take care of you. They're just with you to release themselves. So you will be successful at getting your heart broken if you lead with sex, casual sex with someone that you don't know very well. The next question is the promiscuity a fad? Is it a fad right now? Is it something that over time it's going to change? People are going to become to have more respect, or they're going to find other things to do than to have 101 sexual partners. You know what? Yes, this is a fad. I don't know the exact time frame, but with more education and more preventive measures being advertised in the media, the more that it's talked about, the more you're going to have people second guessing their actions. The more that it's talked about, and you hear that there's a strand of syphilis that is almost like HIV. It cannot be cured. There's a strand of gonorrhea. It's gonorrhea, not syphilis. That's almost like HIV. There's no cure for it. Syphilis still can cause blindness and deafness and sterility. You can become sterile. So and the women are going to be the ones who make the change. The women are going to be the one to say, no, we're not doing that anymore. Because you have women that are not necessarily a part of the community, the pride community, and they're having vaginal and anal sex with men. The men are preferring to have anal sex with women because they have anal sex with the boys, with the other men. But it's going to take the women to say enough is enough. It's going to take the women, the bearers of children, to let the male know, hey, we can't do this. It's not productive to my body. It's not productive to having children. It's not productive at all. It affects your foundation. And here you have man, at some point, he's going to feel like, wow, he is not going to be proud of his actions, because those actions affect the family structure. It affects the family unit, man, woman, and child. So the woman and man are going to talk about it. The man is going to have to be the one to step up and realize that you cannot have a foundation running around. You cannot have a solid foundation in a relationship if you're running around having casual sex with every other person that you meet. And the family dynamic doesn't have to be man and woman, just parents and the child. But how can you get there if you don't respect your body enough to wrap it up and have protected sex? And then again, the Queen of Pentacles, the woman, is going to come in. And this Pentacles is earth sign, so that'll be Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, but women in general. And they're going to use their intuition. The third eye chakra is definitely directly related to your intuition. So the women are going to use their intuition and decide, no, I'm good. That's not the best thing for me right now. And I haven't even mentioned the disease factor that comes with having casual sex, unprotected sex, and just being promiscuous. So yes, this is a fad. In time, things will balance back out. And the last question is, will the STDs have an effect on the overall black population of black and brown people? Are the STDs actually, is the epidemic in the STDs going to cause is it going to affect the number of black and brown children and people that are born in the future? I guess black and brown children are people, but is it going to affect it? Are our numbers, our population numbers, are our numbers going to decline over time due to the promiscuity and the casual sex that we're having now, or that a lot of people are having now? And the answer is yes, it is. It's going to have an effect on our population years from now. You can't see it right now, but this STD epidemic is going to have a direct reflection. It's going to have a direct effect on the overall population of black and brown people in the United States, and with the monkeypox around the world. You have the Wheel of Fortune. And this Wheel of Fortune is about life, ebbing and flowing. It's a cycle. You have your ups and your downs. And then you have the star card, 19, the light, which is compassion. As you go through these cycles, as you go through the ups and downs, as you go through being in a position of having to decide, am I going to continue to have unprotected casual sex with men and women? And the star card is, or the light card, is letting an indication that you're going to stop. You have hope. You have faith. You're going to stop being so reckless. Because once you realize what it's doing, you're going to have heartache and loss. Once you realize that you're destroying the fruits of your labor for your community or for your ethnic group, whether you're black, brown, or somewhere in between, and of course white folks as well, but specifically with the black and brown people, you are basically committing a mild version of genocide. You're killing off your race because you're not going to be able to reproduce and make babies based off of your sexual preference. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. So it's definitely going to affect, and this in the reverse. The more people you have in the world, the more new opportunities you have, the more new beginnings, the more financial new beginnings, financial opportunities you have. But it being in the reverse, there's not going to be the opportunity. And then that is clarified by the solar plexus. And your solar plexus is where you get your courage, your willpower, your strength, your self-discipline. This is where you have the ability to say, no, I'm good. Or no, I'd rather wait to get to know you better before I have sex with you on the first night or the first week or whatever the case may be. So that's what's going on, people, regarding the this sexually transmitted disease epidemic that we're currently going through. To receive more spiritual guidance, you can follow me on Instagram at illalyn. To book a reading, go to www.illalyn.everythingspiritual.com. Have a wonderful day out there. And as always, namaste.